Hey, Tim. We got some great things coming up from New Japan soon. They're going to be crowning, anointing, somethinging the king of pro wrestling very soon. And, following that or during that or next month, we've got the G1 tournament coming up.
Wait. Did you say G5?
No, I said G1.
I knew it. It's a goddamn conspiracy. Fucking
What's
G5. It? Oh, I knew it. G5. 5G, 5G.
Tim has lost his damn mind. Just send us right into the song. Okay? Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's time for a brand new episode of As the Buckle Turns. My name is Adam.
I'm Tim. I'm telling you, it's all about 5G.
No, it's not. God, really, you need to stay off from that. I don't... Oh, God. Anyway, let's kick things off right away, Tim. We got a action-packed show for you guys? I don't know. We do this in one take. It could go way off the rails. Anyway, but right away, let's get into the Wednesday Night Wars. The ratings are in, and NXT is still victorious.
And they're losing to AEW.
Yes. This week, both shows saw a drop in ratings.
Yep.
Pretty hard, actually. One worse than the other.
Yeah.
But AEW did come out on top again this week with 792,000 viewers. It's a drop of 109,000 from last week. That's a hard hit.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they got the 50 plus demo. If they got that demo, whew, that means that Matt Jackson's 50 for 50 has been working wonders. But yes, NXT did turn in with 619,000. They took the bigger hit this week at a loss of 134,000.
Yes, they did.
That's what happens when you don't have Pat McAfee, whatever his feet name is, punting people on TV.
With Shawn Michaels holding it just at
the right level.
Yeah. But apparently there are people in WWE who are not happy with NXT constantly losing to AEW.
I don't know. Maybe
to the point where they NXT how they do everything. They have 3 writers for NXT.
Okay.
Well, they now have 5.
Wow, that's gonna really solve a lot of things.
I know. So they reassigned someone who was on the main roster there, and they rehired a former writer brought back to the company to work with NXT.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's the WWE product. They know what works. At least Triple H knows how to use the product well.
Thank you.
Vince doesn't, because it's Vince's way or the highway, which I'm still sure Triple H is the same way, but because he's been in the ring, he understands working under that horrible system under Vince. He's more flexible.
Yeah, probably.
You still have storylines, but wrestlers still get input on their promos.
Yep.
You let them actually have...
There seems to be this thing called long-term storytelling that goes on there as well.
Yeah. Which is ironic because of a certain someone claims about that, which we'll get to in a few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But Eric Bischoff actually pointed out his experience backstage last week when he was about the creative differences, and he's like it's back in the old days. The old ways of doing it is where you had these people, they were not just looking to get themselves over, they were looking to get their opponent over as well.
Right.
Working together, not trying to just get themselves over and screwing over their opponent, having more say in their promos and what to do.
Well, okay, because if a group of fans are responding to a promo, then that means that they're doing a great job between the two of them to put on a great show.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons that people enjoyed seeing The Rock and Austin going head to head, because they always put on a good show.
Yeah.
It may not be the greatest of matches, but it was a good show.
Yep. But yeah, as we all already know, that Vince Russo's always said that the only way it gets better if you actually have writers. We've already commented on our thoughts on AEW having writers, in the sense of having just people who are there who are basically more idea generators.
That totally makes sense.
That's about it. But ultimately, that's something like maybe several years out.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest things, the difference between television shows and writing for a large cast,
Yeah.
and a wrestling show is that wrestling is not a script. Like, yes, it's a scripted program, but it's not so script. Like, they're not actors playing a role.
No.
They are wrestlers that are just getting pushes in certain directions to play their character.
That have stories that are being played out. But it's definitely interesting. I mean, obviously Triple H knows how to use story and use writers for NXT.
Yeah.
Having extra minds there to bounce ideas off is always a good thing. 5 is a lot, but at the same time, it's not like the 52 billion they have on the main roster.
And it's still like, what is it? 16 of them are only in Connecticut all the time.
Yeah, but not just that, but no matter what these writers come up with, if Vince doesn't like it, it doesn't get added on. So,
yeah.
Does Triple H negate or veto ideas? I'm sure he does, but he's
probably.
I guarantee you, he's probably has more of a collaborative process, because, or if he didn't, I don't think NXT would have actually grown as the way it did.
Probably not. No.
So I'm sure he vetoes things, but it's over a discussion. He'll look at it from different ways. Other people can weigh in on how to maybe make it work if he doesn't think of it, and then ultimately, like, you know what, I'm not feeling it right now, or okay, you know what, let's give it a try, because he knows that you sometimes, even though he may not think it's gonna work, let's give it a try. We can always drop it later on. But who knows? But it's going to be interesting to see if this makes it different. I don't think it's going to.
I really don't.
According to Dave Meltzer, the people who watch both shows, who flip it back and forth between commercials of both shows, is a lot higher than you think. It's about 190,000 people who do that.
I would actually have expected that.
So that's what. But when you have like commercial within picture in picture, obviously people are gonna stay on the channel they are.
Of course, which is the smartest thing that TNT can do.
So, but it's still. I mean, it'll be interesting to see why the numbers are down overall.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be any like sporting event or anything like that, like a major draw on Wednesday night to suddenly make everyone drop. But
last week could have just been one of those random spikes we see. You've seen it on Raw and SmackDown after a while, like people, especially during the summer, where people are outside doing stuff during the summer. You shouldn't really be doing that much stuff during a pandemic. But,
no.
But
stay home, wear your mask.
You see these spikes every so often where the ratings would jump a big portion, because all of a sudden people who are wrestling fans who watch usually during the winter and the fall, they catch up on things during the summer that they're still kind of paying, but they're not watching every week. I mean, because it's nice out.
Could be a weather thing.
Yeah.
It was too hot that day for most of the country, so people stayed inside and they watched the show instead.
Or they're just catching up to see if there's anything to make, like, oh, should I pick back up?
Yeah.
And like for AEW, it could have been like, oh, they've heard people who watch AEW haven't been watching it live, been hearing some really good shows, and decide, oh, let me watch this week. And this week, other things maybe they had to do. Who knows?
Yeah.
But the fact that they still got to 900,000 viewers last week, and they're still in the top 700s, where they kind of average out.
Yeah.
It's not that bad of a thing. And within their first year, we're still in their first year of TV, it's still pretty good. It's better than hitting that over 1 million the first 2 weeks dropping down and never getting close to it again, like being like very low numbers.
Like another show?
Yeah. But like they've come back. They do have low weeks. Like get really down like the 500,000s, but they usually pop back up.
Yeah.
We'll probably see the numbers go back up a little bit higher, closer to All Out.
Most likely.
So next week's gonna be interesting because of in the NBA, Dynamite's being delayed. It will be aired on Saturday apparently.
Right.
Right during Takeover 30.
I would love to see I want to see their numbers right after that. Like, we're not going to be able to do the ratings numbers next Thursday as we normally do. We're going to have to wait an entire week for it. But I want to see what those numbers are like.
Yep. So it's definitely interesting to see what the numbers are. It would be funny if their numbers were like the exact same.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
For like a Saturday night, I'd be like that, like a Takeover is on, and Takeover, and people were still chose to watch AEW over the Takeover.
It's because of Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Time to well, you know what? Let's move right on. WWE Network. NXT is going to be on it next Saturday.
Yep, the Takeover.
And they're adding content finally.
Yes. They're adding something they've been teasing for years now. Pretty much ever since the Negra launched.
Kind of, yeah.
They're finally putting some indie wrestling content on the network. It's been announced. It goes on. There'll be something going on this Saturday. It's going to be dealing with Progress Wrestling, Evolve, because they just bought Evolve, WXW.
That's the German company, right?
Yeah. And
that's actually where Volter came from.
Yes. And there's like a few other ones they're going to be putting on there.
Are they putting on WCPW/Defiant?
No.
Please, no?
No.
Oh, you know what? Screw them. I'm not signing back up then. They're not getting my money.
No, they're not getting. They're not there. Apparently this Saturday they're gonna have some specials. They're gonna have the best of Drew McIntyre in Evolve.
Okay.
And the best of Keith Lee in Evolve. Apparently.
All right.
Evolve or Progress? I can't remember which one it was.
I think it was Progress.
I think it may be Progress too. I know Drew McIntyre did Evolve as well, but there's a few other ones in the listing. For it, which is kind of cool because they finally are doing this. We all knew Evolve stuff was going to eventually show up on there because they bought the promotion in the library. So, but seeing these other companies that they've had working agreements with putting that content on there, honestly, it just makes sense because almost all their talent, either in NXT currently, or some of them on their talent on the main roster, have come through these promotions. So why not have that on there so people can see them wrestle before they ever got to WWE?
You know what I would really like to see? Some of the old school OVW stuff come onto the network.
They can't. They don't own the library.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Al Snow owns Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Ho, ho, ho. Hello, Al Snow.
So,
Al, how much is your asking price? And I'd like to build a site to be able to put all your stuff on it. We're going to call the site Dynamite, AEW. All Elite Wrestling. Wait, there's a company that's already doing that? Okay, just sell them the stuff then. so that Tony Khan can go, "Hey, Vince, I have some of the
Cody has
look at this demon and prototype match that went on. Oh, everyone would know them as John Cena and Batista."
Cody Rhodes uses it to get what is it?
Bash at the Beach?
No, it's
the name War Games.
No, it gets the name War Games and gets what's the WCW's in December pay-per-view?
I have no idea.
All
I can think of is December to Dismember, and I was like, that's horrible.
That was ECW. It's Starcade. He gets War Games, the rights of War Games and Starcade because they bought like they can't.
They really need that video library. And Al Snow's like, I'm just making money sitting here. Okay, we're cool.
So that would be funny. But yeah, it's good to see they finally do it. Of course, watch right before the stuff is supposed to go live, Vince changes his mind and pulls it.
Yeah,
again.
that.
And Triple H has to go to him and say,
Stop doing this.
Literally, the Evolve stuff, we own that shit, so it needs to be on there.
We could put that on there.
And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't own this company. And you have the intern go like, yes, you do.
Yes.
Oh, okay, we do. Put that on. But none of the other stuff we don't own. It's like...
You know what? No, never mind. Never mind.
It's like, and Triple H turns to the intern, hashtag HBK, do it.
Super kick.
Out of nowhere.
So we also got to talk about the absolute beating that Dominic Mysterio took on Monday Night Raw.
This is what happens when you step between those ropes and you're not a professional. You get turned to sliced ham. My bad.
Corned beef?
Tenderized ham.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that was like...
That look, I know that sometimes as a second-gen superstar, third-gen superstar, you gotta, quote-unquote, earn your stripes.
Mm-hmm.
Those were not stripes. That, to me, it looked like Seth went too far.
I think that was the point. That was the whole point, obviously.
No, clearly it's meant... I love the fact that Seth Rollins is definitely a heel doing heel things and making people go, I hate you. I'm like, thank you for doing that as a character in the show. But damn, did you have to do that to Dom?
No.
Like, ow.
Yeah, it was like I heard him like, if you see, he sort of the wells.
Okay, honestly, I kind of feel that Sammy Guevara has less heat on him for busting open Matt Hardy than like how Dom should be feeling right now towards Seth. Like, Dom should just be like, oh, I want to bust this guy open now.
Yeah.
But the plus side is it sets up their match at SummerSlam. We get Dom being able to use weapons.
Because Seth does not want any excuses when he destroys him.
Yeah.
And there's just apparently Rey Mysterio has signed a new contract.
Yes.
It's not for the 18 months like he originally wanted. It is for a longer time frame, but it's not 5 years like everyone else.
Right.
And we do know that AEW matched the same offer of Rey Mysterio's old contract. But because Dominic signing and becoming a superstar was was a big part of Rey want to resign, that we got that. But now, it's what Rey Mysterio wants to do. That's his decision.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it would have been better for him to just go to AEW. He'd been used a lot better.
Personally, I would love to see the, Sean Spears Rey Mysterio match, Rey Mysterio Lance Archer match.
But not just that, but it also been kind of been fun.
Well, pretty much Rey Mysterio against almost everyone there. Darby Allin match.
Oh no.
Rey Fenix would just be.
Yeah.
That would be the most ridiculous flippy. Jim Cornette would have oh my God, we need a triple threat match between Rey Mysterio, Will Ospreay somehow, and Rey Fenix.
Nope, you're wrong.
No. Who's the third?
No, there's a fourth.
Oh, who's the fourth?
Ricochet.
Oh, and Ricochet in there. Just to watch Jim Cornette have an absolute coronary over this. Just be like, flippy shit, no. Must destroy on Twitter.
He wouldn't be able to...
5G.
He wouldn't be allowed to watch it because Jericho banned Jim Cornette from watching AEW.
From watching AEW Dynamite.
Yes.
That that this match would not happen on weekly television. It would be at a pay-per-view.
Well, yes, but then Jericho also... Basically, by saying don't watch Dynamite, also means don't watch the product, period.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet that there's enough Cornette fans out there that were like, fine, we're not watching it. But they don't number enough to actually help NXT climb closer.
Yeah.
Because both companies took a drop this week.
I know.
Panic. Everyone panic over that.
Oh, also, they've AEW signed a trademark for Stadium Stampede.
Good. Smart move.
So, but yeah, no, it's just So great. Oh, by the way, did you know that Jericho actually, there was a spot in the Stadium Stampede match that the NFL said not to do.
Oh,
It was him beating up the mascot.
really?
They did not want. They said do not. That's the only thing that the NFL said not to do, and Tony Khan said do it anyway.
Okay.
So
okay. Thank you, Tony.
because he's like, my family owns this.
Worst case scenario, we have to pay a fine to
Yeah.
the NFL,
Yeah.
and it won't be that much.
No, but like it's like he's basically saying, well, they don't get the. Basically, I'm gonna say he's like, well, I can understand why they don't want that to happen, but my family owns this.
Yeah.
And I don't see this hurting our brand. My father doesn't see this as hurting our brand.
The team doesn't see this as hurting their brand.
It's basically what everyone wants to do to the other team's mascot.
Yeah.
Is they want to hit a Judas effect on them.
And even better is it's a Judas effect. It's a back elbow
to a giant fucking head that has no way of actually hitting the person.
Like, I don't know. Okay, NFL sometimes will okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Moving on, we got to talk about long-term storytelling though, because Seth Rollins has said that the fans don't
Have the
understand.
No, they don't have the attention span.
Oh, for WWE's long-term storytelling because they're doing it constantly.
Yeah, because wait, okay, so they don't. Okay, Seth.
Huh?
You need to make up your mind. Okay. Last year, around this time, you said WWE is always doing long-term story booking, and we need to pay more attention.
Right.
Now you're saying that fans don't have the patience or the attention span to do long-term storytelling, but your literal third brand dash developmental does long-term storytelling.
Yeah. Just in general.
In general, your competition, who again beat your developmental dash third brand in the ratings again, literally not that long, a month ago, literally had like 3 matches that had long-term stories for enhancement talent.
Yep. They have a number of stories. They have stories in AEW where I'm just gonna point this one out: the Young Bucks and FTR.
Yeah.
That has been building since before the two of them before AEW was even a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was a joke for a while for the Young Bucks and the Elite that carried over, and then to be able to get FTR in the company, yeah, cool, we can do this. Now we can continue this storyline that has been one-sided for over a year.
Also, I'm pretty sure before the whole All Elite thing, when they were actually convinced they were going to be going to WWE,
Yeah.
they're probably like, oh, we can have this storyline. We can actually play this storyline out with the Revival.
Yes.
And then AEW happened.
Which was even better.
Yes. And then you have New Japan. Do I have to get into New Japan's long-term storytelling?
There's one going on right now that has been building for 5 years.
Yeah.
Naito and Okada.
I mean, they face off each other before all this and all that.
Yes, but overall, it's a long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, you have something to reference at the beginning of why do these guys always want to fight each other? Well, because Naito was jealous of Okada when Okada rose up the ranks of Chaos suddenly. And so Okada left, formed LIDJ.
You mean Naito?
Naito left and formed LIDJ so that he could be their number one guy.
Yep.
And then Evil crossed him because Evil was very... So there's storylines going on all over the place.
It's one of those things, like, they have long-term story booking. They have short-term story booking. It's one of those things. So to say that fans don't have the attention span for long-term storytelling...
It's there.
You're an idiot. Make up your fucking mind. His next thing is going to be saying, oh, no, see, we do long-term storytelling, but the fans don't have the attention span to pay attention to that and forget and bitch about not having long-term storytelling because they don't. I'm like, no, because your long-term story, when you do have a long-term storytelling, A, long-term story, which is usually only one,
Yes.
it's not good.
Well,
Or it gets dropped after 3 weeks.
or it's incredibly obvious that you're trying to extend something at this point.
Yeah.
Or trying to build off something that has been cooled down for so long that nobody cares about it anymore.
Exactly. Natalia just showed back up with Lana to pick up the drop storyline of the locker room leader that she apparently is, and how she's overlooked because she wasn't on some tapings for the last few weeks.
Okay. No, I want the listeners to do something for me real quick. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments, because I respond to this stuff. It's me running the channel. Let me know. I won't be responding until like Monday or Tuesday. But
I wonder why that is.
I'm going to be away for the weekend, because I can be away for the weekend. But let me know down in the comments. Let me know down there, what is WWE's biggest long-term storytelling that they're going with right now? And look, if you're going to give me Sasha and Bayley, okay, cool, Sasha and Bayley. That one has been a wonderful
accident.
It's been the slowest boil that I love it, and we've all been waiting for Sasha and Bayley to turn on each other again.
Yeah.
Even though they turned and both of them just went, well, now we're both heels. And you're like, okay, that's not how a turn works, but
well, no.
Okay.
No.
We've been waiting for the Sasha and Bayley to go head to head, really go head to head.
Yeah, but the sad thing is, like, people are going to want to say, like, well, that's been building for a year. No, it hasn't. Because it wasn't until around the Royal Rumble when they decided they want to do that.
Yes.
There was no plans for them to go head-to-head until about the Royal Rumble. And they were thinking about WrestleMania, but then they said, no, we want to...
We'll put it in the back burner again. Which,
they wanted more time with it.
Oh, no.
Which, if you actually started it back, like last summer and planned for it, you could have done it at WrestleMania.
But me,
because they were on SmackDown, they didn't give a fuck.
I look at that and go, I feel that since their call-up, people have been going, no, we want to see you at this stage. Sasha and Bayley put on that match that they had in NXT. Give that to us. We still haven't. It's been how long now?
I know. It's been...
And there is a certain window that you have to jump through to be able to get these storylines going. And then you can cool it down. Then you can warm it back up over and over again, like Okada and Naito.
You shut up about the Golden Role Models. And by the way, just so you know, the Golden Role Models, far better name than the Boston Hug Connection. Really?
That is a lazy storyteller who's coming up with that name, because that is just going, okay, so the Rock and Mankind had the Rock and Sock Connection. We're going to go with something connection.
Well, the Rock and Sock Connection, it worked because A, it was the Attitude Era, one, and
yes.
B, it was literally a mockery of that these two were a team.
Yes. They hated each other.
Each other.
Well, one didn't hate the other one, but the Rock hated Mankind.
But not only just that, because The Rock hated everyone that wasn't The Rock, because
exactly.
The Rock was a prima donna who was a babyface, but actually a heel.
Yes. However that worked.
Which actually goes to show you, when you actually let heels play a babyface, but they're still acting heelish, they can get over WWE. Your own history of your top two talents in the Attitude Era were literally heels who were playing babyface because the fans were cheering them.
Yeah.
Everything Austin did to Rick McMahon was assault.
Yes.
McMahon was in the right in basically at all times.
I mean,
most of the time, except for adopting his own daughter.
Yeah, and trying to marry her.
Well, to the Undertaker was trying to marry her.
It's a weird story, because either the Undertaker was conducting a ceremony for the two of them to be married, or it was to marry Stephanie to the higher power. I don't remember which.
I think
he was doing it for the higher power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Still
yes,
didn't make any sense.
I know, but it just goes to show you this. But ultimately, yes.
Long-term storytelling. Come on, Seth.
But let's be honest. We'll give you the Sasha and Bailey one
Yeah.
since Royal Rumble because
Boom.
it has been several months. But it does right now. They're now just starting to build back towards, because it looks like for a little bit there they may have been stretching out longer because they don't have Charlotte.
Yeah.
But
They don't have Becky.
yeah. So, but they have been teasing it. The putting more heat on that. So, but yes, I'll give you that. Name another one.
Yes.
I dare you to.
Honestly,
And
is Seth part of a long-term storytelling right now?
No.
Because it doesn't really feel like
No.
it. It feels like...
he's even admitted that there's nothing planned. It goes basically time from the time, basically recording sessions to recording sessions. So they do 2-week chunks.
That's what you have writers there for. Look, okay. Time to pull the veil back a little bit. I book New England Wrestling Alliance. 100% I book that.
What?
Yeah.
That's why it's so shitty?
Exactly. I'm not saying I'm a good booker. Look, sometimes things don't go to plan.
Unlike me, fantasy booking AEW, I'm a brilliant booker.
Right. I plan out the 7 shows from the end of from the pickup from the next next story arc from pay-per-view to pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I write that completely out. And I only goes to that pay-per-view. The reason I have some matches that need consequences in one direction or another. I like to leave a few things open-ended. Some storylines I don't, and it sometimes gets obvious when week 6 comes around and you're like, well, these guys aren't losing. It's gonna, and like, yeah, no, I understand.
How are the women doing, by the way?
I hear that their show is doing amazingly well in the key demographic.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yes.
But
they're still sadly trying to fight and find a way onto the ZOP Gaming channel itself. They're not really. There's something scheduling wise. They're not able to get on the show. It's at this other. It's at this website. Let me. Give me a moment. I'll find it. Just go ahead. Yeah.
But yeah, it's not like if you look at it this way, when you what was it? I can't remember the name some of the companies out there, but like I know a good one would be used. People will probably know of is Lucha Underground. When they did seasons, you had a season, and that's every episode was building to the season finale, and that was the storyline. You'd leave things open for the next season, potential stories where to go, but you didn't have to plan for those because you can then build it as your with the next season. Same would go with other smaller promotions that did the same thing. They'd have a season finale, and then everything's building towards that. But in WWE, they don't have an end game with this, which was why it feels so weird with Seth having this Monday Night Messiah gimmick.
Yep.
And then nothing comes of it. Like he loses at WrestleMania, but nothing really it's just weird. And by the way, someone had a great stipulation for Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins' next matchup. It should be mask versus hair.
Yes.
With Rey shaving Seth's head.
Thank you.
Like he did to CM Punk.
Exactly.
Because CM Punk requested that.
See, that would be cool. And it would extend their story a little bit further.
Yes, but also it was really CM Punk pointing out that basically what Rollins is doing is a different version of Punk's character from
what? No.
Yeah. It's just well, he's actually saying he's the Messiah of Monday Night Wrestling. Where Punk was like, I'm the straight edge, I'm here to save you from your woes of your addictions.
Yeah, it's the same storyline. Look, even wrestling and soap operas, you got to recycle stuff at some point. Like Kevin Owens being standing up to, oddly enough, if they had been able to continue and keep fire on Kevin Owens and Shane O'Mac, I feel that they could have been the next Vinny and Stone Cold.
Possible, but who knows?
It may not reach the same heights, but you have the man of the people fighting against the authority over and over and over again.
Okay, we have got to bring this up.
Yeah.
Medusa was not very happy with the sexy dance girls
what?
On Raw Underground.
I mean, Shane's underwear? I mean, Shane's underground?
So, but she said, like, if you're going to go the sexuality, like, why not do it for everyone?
Lance Storm
like,
totally was behind. He's like, I'm 100% behind this.
It's like, if they have, because for the women, they have a bunch of Chippendale dancers there, I will pop so hard. And they got rid of the sexy dance girls this week.
They were like, well, we're not going in that direction.
And then Liv Morgan says, can we bring back the sexy dance girls?
I love it.
So, but, by the way, so we figured out how great and how much the ratings are going to improve because of Raw Underground this week.
Yes.
They went up a whole 0.4 from last week.
0.4.
Yeah, so basically we found the top out of Raw Underground.
Wow.
Because it's a street fight. It's not an MMA. Like, well, it should be. It's basically it's an underground street fight. No. Make it literally a MMA. It actually has rules. It has like a cage. You can't go wrestling off into anywhere in the warehouse.
Yeah, no. There should be a centralized location. I would love for them to introduce the same type of cage that they had for what's his name?
The Lion's Den match.
Yes.
Well, that's why I said that the steel fight match for that Tim Thatcher and
that's the one that I'm talking about.
Matt Riddle had was literally that, but just around the ring instead of its own separate thing when they originally did, and they have a ramp on top. Yes, dude, that's what it should be. By the way, I find it hilarious that for Shayna Baszler's element of Raw Underground this week, one of the 3 girls that she beat up, has a background in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, nice.
And I can think jiu-jitsu, like she has like martial arts background. They literally told her, act like you don't know anything in the segment. Because they wanted to put over Shayna hard, which I understand that, but like to tell her like
pretend you don't know how to do anything you know how to do.
Just fight like you don't know what you're doing.
No, okay. That match for with the raised platform. What I would like to see is that the raised platform is actually where a bunch of the audience, bunch of people that are watching, they're looking down into it, and there's also people surrounding it.
Yeah.
That way, you're just like, okay, Shane has found people to cage fight.
Yeah.
Cage fight would be the better idea for Raw Underground going forward, because at some point you gotta and keeping it at have it be a taped segment at the
Performance
center. Yeah, the performance center. That way you can always control the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something that honestly I still feel that it shouldn't be actually part of Raw. Yeah. I think it should be a network thing or a YouTube thing after Raw.
But the whole point of it is to increase the ratings of Raw. Which
it's not doing that.
Exactly. Which is why
0.4.
Apparently Vince McMahon after last week was very high on Raw Underground. When he saw that the ratings probably didn't go up that far much this week, he's probably this again after the next week will be
bring back the sexy dancers. That's what it is.
No
sexy dancers. Bring out the sexy dancers.
And the ratings go down.
We gotta bring back the sexy dancers. Ratings immediately go down.
But no, like I won't be surprised after a 3-week push if the ratings don't go up anymore. It'll be it didn't work.
It'll be another failed thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I like about AEW Dark is the fact they're like, hey, no, we're giving some of our product away for free.
Yeah.
Yes, we get paid for the advertisements that happen through YouTube, but we get you over here with ad block. Me, if the ad is more than like a minute, depends on the ad and depends on what I'm doing at the moment, I will probably skip it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, this ad block thing. I have no clue what you're talking about.
We've talked about this on the air before.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. But yeah, Seth Rollins has no idea what he's talking about when he's like, we have long-term storytelling. You guys are just too dumb to pay attention to it.
My definition of long-term storybooking is 5 months. Consistently.
Yeah.
5 months.
Like, the storylines that carry over from a period of time. It's like, okay, well, Seth, it would be great if, suddenly you and Roman had a feud.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you turned on him once. And he was just like, dude, I don't know. You did that to me. And Seth's just like, well, I'm a bad guy. Well, as bad guys, we do bad things. Suffer and succotash and whatnot.
All right, let's move on.
All right. AEW. We got some stuff to talk about here. Huge news. The Cockroach was signed to a 5-year deal. It's a $400 million deal. A lot of money up front. I'm not sure why Tony signed this deal. Actually, I heard that it was actually Mike Nakazawa that somehow got this deal done with that Cockroach.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, moving on. We've got a FTR. FTR has turned. In reality, FTR, the heel team, has been doing heel things.
I know. So,
just because they worked with the Young Bucks does not make them faces.
No. I mean, come on.
Also, the Young Bucks kind of not faces either.
No. But yes, this whole idea that the FTR did heel things, and
who
turned.
was it?
They are a heel team.
Who did they beat up? Oh God.
Ricky, whatever, the Rock and Roll Express.
Yes.
I mean, they literally said in their interview with Jericho, we're a heel tag team. Our whole job is not to overshadow the babyface. We're supposed to make the babyface look better.
Yeah.
They literally said this on Jericho's podcast, then came in to AEW. And after the Young Bucks had a match to interrupt, a very heelish thing to do.
Huh.
Attacked. Yes, it was another heel team, but it was still a heel thing to do after a match. I mean, come on.
Come on.
We knew this was where it was going. Just like when it comes down to, like, they're teasing that Kenny Omega's going to be the one who turns on Adam Page. No, it's a red herring.
It's going to be Page.
Because
Page will be completely justified in his turning on Kenny, though.
Well, at least you hope so.
I really hope so. I would love, because the idea of Kenny going back to being going back to the cleaner and being crazy again, crazy Kenny, with Adam Page just being like, no, I have to turn on you because you've lost your damn mind. You know?
Well, and Total Extreme Wrestling Fantasy Booking AEW.
Yeah.
Hangman Page had enough of Kenny Omega and turned on him, costing them the AEW World Tag Titles to the Best Friends.
Oh no!
And turned heel. I mean, this is what happens when you constantly knock a man's drink out of his hand for 3 weeks in a row. But the fact that the man went became sober and went through a draw to throw Kenny off was awesome.
That is quite drastic.
Or was he actually? Or was that just him acting?
Oh. All right.
But yeah, so no, it's like a red herring because they're building up. They're looking at they're teasing a bunch of different things for the four horsemen.
I mean, you could have. I mean, we've talked about this. Adam Page, FTR, and Shawn. Adam Page, FTR, and Cody. Cody, FTR, and Shawn.
I think they want to have Hangman be his own thing. So I think what they may, after he turns on Kenny, he may get the offer, but he's gonna be like, I was already in a group. I like you guys. I respect you, but I need to do my own thing. And they're gonna be like, We understand
We
that.
cool.
But if you need some backup,
we're
here.
I know who the tag team is that's going to be in the real Four Horsemen.
Who's that?
Angelico and Jack Evans. They're going to be teaming up with Pac and Orange Cassidy.
Well, Pac is part of Death Triangle with the Lucha Bros.
He's going to turn on them. And Orange Cassidy is going to turn on the Best Friends. His is going to be the most surprising because he's just going to walk into the ring and help out Pac and Angelico and Jack Evans, what is it? TH2?
No, they're Hybrid 2.
Yeah, the Hybrid 2.
Yeah.
TH2. Yeah, that's their thing now. TH2.
I just call them Hybrid 2. But TH2 actually sounds better than the Hybrid.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the real Four Horsemen.
By the way, good job, Jericho, botching Orange Cassidy's mousetrap finish for your match last night.
Ooh.
Because he fell backwards instead of, I don't know what the mousetrap move is, but he fell backwards taking it, so it kind of botched it.
It happens.
Yeah, I mean, but it sounded like it was a good matchup because Orange Cassidy, he came out, instead of warming up to trying, he went full gear from the minute, which is cool.
It was because the entire thing was Jericho was challenging Orange Cassidy because he felt he needed to embarrass Cassidy. And I do love the fact that they bled real life into this program.
Mm-hmm. Also, Jericho wanted the $7,000 to clean his jacket that Orange Cassidy ruined by spilling the orange juice on him.
Exactly.
Sorry, Jericho, you're going to have to pay for that yourself because you lost.
Right.
I'm thinking they may build this to an all-out match.
See, that would be cool.
But see, I don't think it's not going to be another one-on-one matchup. It's going to be a six-man tag.
Yes. Thank you. Because of the Pride and Powerful and Best Friends.
They're actually going by Santana and Ortiz now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
SAO.
Even though Santana and Ortiz is Pride handle name for Twitter,
it's
and
still there.
Proud for handle name for Twitter and all that, but they're literally just referred to as Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah,
I'm glad they are calling them just that. It was. I get you were trying to be different.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it sucks you can't use LAX like you were under Impact and everything.
Right.
But
I mean, it's much. I compare it a lot to when Hall and Nash came to Impact.
Yeah.
And they were called The Band, and then eventually everyone was just like, it's Hall and Nash. It's just Hall and Nash.
They actually were never called The Band. They were called when they first came in. They were called The Outsiders, always. They became The Band when they were, for the Bret Hart, Jericho, NWO forming. We're getting the band back together.
No, this was an Impact.
Oh, an Impact. I thought you saw NWO, WCW.
No, because they couldn't use The Outsiders. They couldn't use NWO, so they just called them The Band.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
For a little while, and then they very quickly gave up on that and just called them Hall and Nash.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's Hall and Nash. And they're like, yeah, because nobody understands what The Band is. They're like, well, they're getting the band back together. And it's like, well, yes, but there's two of them. Hogan's not part of this. Hogan's here, but he's not part of that.
But also the thing was the band refers to the Clique and the NWO.
Yeah.
And I think more people in TNA were probably thinking more of the Clique in a sense than the actual NWO, because they were like, there's no way Hogan's coming in here.
No, it was more of the... Yeah, never mind.
But yeah, it was interesting to see this overall. But
yes, also, looks like... Oh, there was a debut of Mike Chioda, bro.
Yes.
Woo!
He was the referee for the TNT Championship Open Challenge match, that Scorpio Sky. The answer was apparently was really good.
I get a little... Okay, Simon Miller this week was like... He's like, I don't know why, but I really believed that Scorpio Sky going into this match could win this. Like, he's like, I saw it happening. And all we had was last week, Scorpio Sky pats the belt. That was it. He's like, that's how this company is right now, is that they've built all of these characters as being such strong people that you can go, no, I can see them winning.
See, I don't buy Scorpio Sky as a singles competitor right now. Solely because we don't have a fan reaction, like a full fan reaction there to really fill. I think he's a good guy. He's very talented, but I don't know if he's over with the actual fan base at the level they want him to be.
All right.
But they're because we don't have that. But at the same time, they're not doing major pushes.
No.
Right now.
No.
Which goes to our next thing.
Yes.
Because it's just not just like Scorpio Sky, but in major pushes, they're holding off on really mega pushing people until fans can be back in the arena because they want those pops. They want to have when they push someone and get a major victory or something like that. They want the fan reaction. One of the persons we know that they're waiting off on
Griff Garrison.
No. Jungle Boy.
Oh, I keep getting them screwed up.
Even though they lost to Kenny and Hangman Page last night.
Yeah, but that's still part of the Kenny and Adam long-term storytelling.
Yes. They have major plans to use him as a solo going forward, but they're waiting for him to get a huge victory over someone. No, it doesn't say who, but a huge victory when the fans are back there because they want that pop. They don't want to waste a big push on someone who's a talent who could, if they do it right, could be a major star for them for years. So they want those fan reactions, which is smart.
Oh, another smart thing that AEW did is they definitely steered into the skid regarding Sammy and Matt. The fact that now Matt
wants to bust open Sammy.
Well, not just that, he keeps slipping from personality to personality, and like in promo, I was just like, all right, I like what they're doing here, you know. Because BTE, they did it. Like Matt's like as he's talking with the Young Bucks. Yeah. He is going through like. He's like, oh yeah, and that's a little fact for you. Speaking of factoid, and he throws up the version 1. Yeah. He says something about Matt Hardy's been busted open so many times, and then he's like, but hold the multiverse. Like he's going through every character in a promo, and I was like, that's smart. This is a steer into the curve. You have Reba freaking out because she's Reba and she's. Freaks out every time Matt's ever been busted open so far, and then you put out the stories that Sammy has heat backstage, and then you swerve into it like this, and you're like, this kind of with, I mean, I'm not.
Well, he actually does have heat backstage.
Yes, but it doesn't seem to be as bad because they're continuing with a major storyline.
Well, yes. Well, the reason why he busted open Matt was because
he grabbed the wrong chair.
Because he couldn't find it.
No, it was supposed to be over in that corner, and it wasn't there.
And this is an issue with AEW with people grabbing the wrong chair.
I know.
Cody last year, Sammy this year, Orange Cassidy next year. But I don't think Orange Cassidy have to worry about Orange Cassidy. The way. No. Actually, you really have to worry about Orange Cassidy because just a light tap is going to take a head off.
I am waiting for the day that somebody, because in WWE, you occasionally see it where somebody grabs one of the announcers' chairs and throws it. Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for that from, like, Orange Cassidy.
And then sell it.
And, oh no, the better part is it goes from where they're sitting over into the ring, barely bumps into somebody, and then they sell it.
I want to see. I would love to see.
It breaks their leg.
I love to see Orange Cassidy just grab one of those chairs, throw it, and it goes up in the air. The wrestler is on the in the ring over the ropes, like they're about to come out, and it grazes the ropes. Doesn't even touch him, but it looks like it could possibly. And then they launch themselves back. I basically a Rock taking the Stone Cold Stunner.
Yes.
But only this is like the guy and flips back up onto his feet and then throws himself over the top rope to the outside to sell it and just be like,
Shawn Michaels in 2005 selling
yes,
SummerSlam 2005.
yes, but yeah, it's a little interesting overall, but it's a good idea, I think, to hold off on big pushes
Yes,
because that fan
especially
reaction,
like supposedly career defining pushes.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe hold off on it. I'm saying yes, you don't need to have everyone at full capacity. But really, like, enough fans to really set off the show.
And by the way, we gotta finally talk about AEW finally getting the TNT Championship polished.
Yes, it's finished.
It looks better, but did you really have to leave the circle where the TNT logo is blank? Can you just put some black? Really?
I also like the fact that there's now technically 2 TNT championships, especially since right after Cody's match, it's Brody Lee challenging him, and Brody had the other belt.
Yeah, but I also say this: I still do not like the red.
I mean, that's your opinion, man.
Can you please change it to a white strap like the Intercontinental Championship that you held Cody years ago?
They're saving that for another belt.
Probably.
Most likely.
But by the way, speaking of Brody Lee, if Brody Lee doesn't win next week, we riot.
Yes, that's right. I will riot like a Canadian. I will tip something over and then apologize and put it back. Realize that it was actually mine all along. You know what? No, I'm gonna riot like people who were protesting Nike. I will burn something that I already... No, I won't. I need stuff.
I mean, you know what? You're going to riot like 5G!
God damn it, man.
Hey, you're not the one who edited this week.
No, but wow.
Just a giant spike.
It's just solid. All right. We got to talk about MJF and Jon Moxley.
You mean the pussy scaring reaction when he found out Jon Moxley actually was in the ring in the building?
I mean, he's also trying to ban the paradigm shift.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I heard that MJF came back and did another one of the things, I was like, okay, we're just doing this now. When are we actually gonna have them overlook? And as I'm scrolling down on Wednesday last night. And scrolling down, like, so when are we actually going to see this? And then I see, oh, Moxley did come out. Oh, and he destroyed him.
Yes.
Okay.
What I would love to see is that, somebody finally says, yes, MJF, the paradigm shift is banned. Immediately comes out. Moxley hits that move, but he gets up and he grabs the mic and he's like, I just hit you with the Deathrider.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's like, son of a no double R, like, because he specifically said the paradigm shift, not a double underhook DDT.
No.
He's like, I could hit a double underhook DDT. You guys can't call it the paradigm shift.
Well, technically, what he gave MGF was the Deathrider.
Because he went up higher and came down with it.
The paradigm shift is basically his dirty deeds. He normally lifts you up a little bit with the paradigm shift, whereas the Deathrider in New Japan, he brings you up high.
That is basically a brain buster.
A double arm, a double hook, underhook,
brain buster.
So it's just like, but yeah, to the fact that, oh my god, like I have to go and actually want to see the face MJF made. When Moxley's music hit, because I mean
he pooped himself.
We
know it.
It makes sense, especially after MJF tried to cost Moxley the belt.
Yeah.
So he could face Darby Allin at All Out, where he would have a better chance at winning the belt.
Yep.
Being a sneaky underacting heel of not wanting to face a harder challenger.
Are you saying that this was a heel turn for MJF?
Have you not been paying attention? He's always been a heel. But he turned heel back at Full Gear when he was still a heel.
When he attacked Cody.
Yeah, when he was a heel.
Yeah. He
Um,
was a heel doing heel things, but people were surprised that a heel
Yeah.
would do a heel thing.
while he was sucking up to Cody, he was still doing heel things to everyone else. Like FTR, who has always been a heel, turning on the Rock and Roll Express because, they're heels.
Yes. My God. All right.
But
Anyway,
it was still funny. But yeah, it was
So-
a great little thing there.
speaking of Jon Moxley, we're shifting overseas now. Jon Moxley is still the U.S. champion for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying, all right, that's awesome.
Well,
Good on
they're
you,
not gonna,
buddy.
they're not gonna strip him of that belt right now, especially since the people they would want to give it to can't make it to Japan anyway.
Right.
But they do have a tournament going on this weekend.
Yeah, didn't we find out like a year ago that Moxley, like, his contract with AEW is for U.S.
I don't know.
appearances?
Yeah,
and
he can.
he cannot wrestle for another company on.
I don't know if he can't wrestle for New Japan on this. I'm pretty sure if he asked,
Tony and the EVPs.
I'm pretty sure they would probably let him because
It's the
you're the
New
U.S.
Japan.
champion. You're the U.S. champion, but who knows? I think it would be cool if it would be smart if they could, help foster that relationship.
Yes, it would. It would be wonderful to keep fostering that relationship.
It would
right
be
now.
funny to see him. He's not scheduled, but he shows up on night 1 and then wrestles on night 2 because there's nothing for night 2. But
Yeah.
we do know for a fact there is a night 2.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting. But yeah, they're not going to strip him of the belt right now.
No, but we do have a new thing coming up. It's a name that New Japan fans have heard a number of times. The King of Pro Wrestling. It was a event
Yeah.
before. Now it's going to be a championship?
Oh, cool! They're adding a new championship belt. That should be awesome.
No.
What?
Yeah. Like, I'm really confused by these rules. So coming up, there is 8 men entering this.
Okay, makes sense. 8-man tournament, obviously.
The first 4 matches are single elimination.
Okay, that makes sense.
The rest of the 4 go into a fatal 4-way.
Okay, that's interesting.
Then the winner defends being king of Pro Wrestling for a year until the next tournament starts, and when as that's about to start, that person receives a
Trophy?
I'm just like, why wait till then? Why not? If you're gonna do this as like a 5 match where it's like, okay, we've got 8, and then we're gonna shorten that down to a fatal 4-way. All right, cool. The winner walks out of that. I mean, it does kind of show that, it's like, all right, you won your singles match.
Mm-hmm.
Now you actually have a 25% chance of winning.
Yes.
At best, unless you're in the ring with Scott Steiner. Then the math goes all out the window, and he will always have a 33 and a third chance to beat you.
No matter how many
no matter how many people are in the ring.
Even if there's 150,000 people in that ring.
He always have a 33. His math is all over the place. In fact, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But it's Steiner.
Even if there are people close to his level that should lessen his odds, he will still always have a 33% chance of winning.
Of beating you.
Yes.
The other people, he has a 100% chance of beating. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a little confusing right now.
But see, you also forgot the other thing. The whole point of this is to get fans to interact.
Yes. So, fans will be voting on the stipulations of these matches.
And it's not even just for this tournament. Every time this championship is defended, the fans will get to decide the stipulation.
Yes.
Which is weird because New Japan doesn't really do stipulations all that often.
Not really.
Like having an Iron Man match Well, they have 60 minutes for their main championships anyway, and
So
it's the only difference is that it's a one pinfall instead of who has the most pinfalls at the end of the time. That's all.
yeah.
But it's a smart move because the U.S. is well known for stipulation gimmick matches.
We love them over here.
So to have that, this is kind of sort of like almost like their hardcore championship match, you could say.
Yeah, almost.
But elevating it beyond what a normal hardcore championship would be.
Right.
Because fans could say, no, this is going to be a single normal rules matchup.
Yeah. Single fall, submission only.
Yeah. It could be
I
two
do
out of
like-
3 falls.
I do like the fact that instead of ladders in the write-up, it said stairs, and I was like, "What? Do they suspend the belt like 4 feet above everyone's hands?" And they're like, "You got to bring some stairs in here, though." And you're like, "All right, I'm gonna need 2x4s and a nail gun." The first person to build a set of stairs gets to climb up and.
Oh, you just
No actual wrestling allowed.
Or no, you could just actually just grab one of their sturdy tables because they actually have sturdy tables, and
Those are the tables.
and just climb on that and get the belt.
Yes.
Which also, by the way, you don't get a belt.
No,
Um,
right now there's the way it was written up, the way the article was written up. Who's it? Super Luchas is where I got this from. It is utterly confusing that you don't receive a trophy until just before the next tournament year starts, and I'm like, why am I waiting that long?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
Because you're defending him. If you lose the championship, then who gets the champion? Obviously gets the trophy. But why did they get the trophy when they didn't win the tournament?
Yeah. I like the idea of it being a King of the Ring type of thing. Yes, they have it set up differently, but it's their King of Pro Wrestling. Having it be a title that you defend the title, the title of King, because it'll be King so and so, King so and so, King of Pro Wrestling so and so throughout the year, and if you lose, the other person becomes the king.
Yes.
Like, I have no problem with that.
I see. Back when WWE had King Harley Race, you had Jim Duggan.
Wow, that's back in the day.
Macho King Randy Savage.
Yeah.
I remember a time where a match where Jim Duggan pinned Harley Race, and he became King Duggan, and I was convinced that's how it worked. You pin the king, you become king.
It makes the most sense.
But apparently it wasn't that way overall. But that is a great way.
I also never enjoyed how in more recent years, in the last decade or so, that King of the Ring really just kind of became a joke. It was like, all right, cool, you're the King of the Ring. Mm-hmm. So you're the king for you're king for the year. And only you have absolutely no power.
And you don't
really do anything. You don't try to get the championship.
You're not giving really big pushes or anything.
No. You end up forming the mid card of doom.
Yeah. See, here's the thing.
King Corbin, seriously, mid card of doom.
Because
come on, man.
Vince doesn't like tournaments. He's not a big fan of them. But because we get the King of the Ring, obviously he approves of stuff. He overapproves it. But like Vince, we all now know, 3-week push.
Yes.
By the time the tournament's over, he's done with it. But he's not going to stop something like that once it gets going.
Yeah.
But he will butcher it because originally the winner was supposed to be Shorty G. Which is ironically because it was Baron Corbin who basically nicknamed him that.
Yep.
During their feud for the finals and then their little feud afterwards, and Shorty G accepted that. But now the man who basically bullied him and gave him that demeaning nickname was supposed to get him over.
Only he didn't.
Is now doing Baron Corbin's bidding because he's put a King's ransom out on Matt Riddle.
Okay. Where did Baron Corbin come up with a king's ransom?
Yeah, that's my question. See, that's the that's the thing. Like, they Paul Heyman wanted to do the King of the Ring to use it to get over new talent.
Yes, it makes sense.
Instead, it got put on Baron Corbin, and didn't do anything.
Baron Corbin, the most meh.
Yeah.
One of okay, for WWE that has decided they're not going to build superstar talent ever again.
Yep.
Baron Corbin is so mid within that world of vanilla
Yeah.
that he's not even real. It's like soft serve vanilla where you're just like, wow, it's just white, almost ice cream. And I accept that it's vanilla because it's supposed to have no flavor.
Are you making fun of soft serve ice cream?
Look, sometimes soft serve is amazing. But have you ever had the standard vanilla?
You take that back, sir.
Standard vanilla is terrible. Even standard chocolate from them is bad.
You want to take this outside, sir?
I will take this outside.
Because there's nothing better than standard tasteless chocolate and standard tasteless vanilla, and you put them together in a standard tasteless twist.
On a very, very tasteless cone.
With a
quote-unquote cone.
dipped in a very delicious dip.
Yeah, somehow the dip and of the all of that, like the chocolate over the top of it, that's amazing. That's the only saving grace it has.
Because it's full of sugar.
I know.
It's even more sugar.
But New Japan is trying something out.
Yeah.
I don't know where this is actually falling right now because very soon, in 2 weeks?
Yes, 2 weeks.
2 weeks we have not G1. That G1's happening before.
Yeah,
after
keeps growing.
Summer to Struggle or Summer Struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Jingu. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be doing with that card.
Yep.
How things are going to be working out. Oh, I cannot
There
wait.
it's pretty much rematches from Dominion.
Yes.
Because of their limited roster available right now. Also, they have people coming over to the U.S. Like Kenta is over here for the matchups tomorrow.
Yep. This is also where that Fatal 4-Way will be taking place.
Yeah. They have to actually they have to quarantine apparently. For 2 weeks apparently for coming over there. This is based on Gallows, who's saying if you go over to Japan, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. You come back from Japan, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. So
yeah,
they're not gonna have as much talent available for the talent. So it's rematches. Naito's getting his rematch for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
So as well as Tanahashi and Kota Ibushi are challenging
Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi for the tag team championships.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it should be a good thing where we'll be doing predictions for both shows.
Yeah.
For that.
I can't wait.
But going back to this King of Pro Wrestling, Adam, how much time do we have?
We have 10 minutes.
So we're not going to do what we originally planned, apparently.
No, once again.
We were going to book how each of us would take this King of Pro Wrestling and what we would do. Maybe next week we have less time, we'll do it then.
I mean, yeah, why not?
But we have a double stacked predictions next week.
Yes! We're getting triple X up in here.
Whoa.
Phrasing.
Whoa.
Damn it, Arthur Morgan.
Whoa.
He wrote that one for me.
Whoa.
That was his fault. I see the notes now. That's clearly his handwriting.
Whoa. No. You may be getting a little triple X this weekend, but, well, no. No.
No, so yeah, we're going over TakeOver 30.
And SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
So we'll be not fantasy booking, but we'll be predicting that next week. And any, breaking news that may or probably won't happen.
This just in. The FTR have turned heel.
FTR has turned face. And then turned heel again.
Anytime they get cheers, they're like, oh, they've turned face. See, so many people have. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
Screw it. I'm gonna shut up before I go on a rant about that stuff.
Oh, go on a rant about 5G?
No, shut up about 5G. Shut
Anyways,
up.
ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment section what you thought of all this. What do you think of New Japan's new King of Pro Wrestling Championship?
What do you guys think the trophy should be? I personally think it should be a crown.
I don't know, just because it's so confusing what they are trying to go for.
I know.
But I will give them this. They are definitely trying something different.
Yes.
Which is always great to see. But while it's confusing, it could be a translation error.
Yeah, that's all it could be.
But time will tell from going forward. But it's always nice to see them try something different. Let us know all down in the comment section. Since it's right there, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. You've been listening to almost an hour and a half for us, so come on, you know you like what you're listening to. And since it's right there and you're giving us a thumbs up, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Ding!
Ring that bell.
Ding! Ding!
And get bet.
Oh.
Like Seth Rollins' stupidity on fans not having attention
You
span.
should have thought that was horrible.
And
That
5G!
God damn it, Tim.